Some just got to come in here and say, hey, guess what? I was wrong. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the episode of Heartfelt Radio. Appreciate you for tuning in today. Let's get started. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. There's a lot to talk about here, right? Let's start with this, though. The fans win is a really corny expression. The fans win. When an artist puts out something or you see an event, the fans won. It was such a great event. And normally it's bullshit because a lot of times in fan events, fans are looking for a certain winner, and fans will feel less like they won, quote unquote, if the team or guy they're rooting for doesn't win. Even in great boxing matches, great Super Bowls, if you're rooting for a guy, you're rooting for a team, you want your guy or your team to win, you don't feel like you won if your guy loses. Let's start there. But last night was a fantastic game. It didn't feel like a game where, this team only won because this guy played bad, or, this guy wasn't on his A game, or there was this injury. This was Chris Paul played great, 20 and 11, only one turnover. Devin Booker, 40-point game. Giannis played great. Middleton played great. Drew played great. Ayton had 20 and 10. Like, the guys who are supposed to be good, the guys who are supposed to be great, they were good. They were great. Even the role players. Bridges had a good game. Crowder had a good game. Bobby Portis had a good game. Like, the role players are playing great. You know, someone got to do, every now and again, you got to come in here and just say, hey, I'm wrong. And I was wrong about this series. I thought this series was going to be over in 5 or 6 games, going the Suns' way. I thought they were the far better team, the far superior team, the better coach team, more depth, all that stuff. And someone just got to come in here and say, hey, guess what? I was wrong. I'm glad to be wrong because it has turned out to be such a fun series, an exciting series, far more to talk about than I would have ever imagined coming into this. Another thing that the fans, quote unquote, might win. This might be Giannis's moment. And by moment, I mean every great player has that moment that now it all clicks, right? Like, you have the moment where it clicks and you realize, I can average 25, I can average 30, I can grab 10, 50 rebounds, whatever makes you great. You're like, I can do this consistently. I'm better than the other guys on the court. And then you have that next moment, which just clicks and it's all has come together and you're like, I'm this great even amongst the greats. LeBron in 2012, Mike in 89, Steph in 15, Durant in, whatever you want to call it. Durant's been scoring 30 since he got in the league. When it just clicks in your head and you go, I can do this, and I can repeatedly do this even against great guys. Not just the guys I realize I'm better than, but even the guys I am on their level, or even some guys who might even be a little bit better than me. And no one's perfect at everything. No one is capable of doing everything. But what Giannis is great at, and can always be great at, he can perfect in a way that you can't stop what he does. Everyone has flaws in their game. Shaq had flaws. Kobe had flaws early, still got a 3-peat. Mike had flaws. Scotty had flaws, still got 6 rings. LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh had flaws, still had 2 titles, went to 4 straight NBA Finals. Steph has flaws. Steph doesn't play defense. Clay doesn't handle the ball like a true 2-guard. Still, dynasty. Draymond couldn't score, still part of a dynasty. Giannis getting to this level, going to be fun, I think, for everybody to watch. Especially the story now behind Giannis, which he's been crushed the last 2 years because he's a 2-time MVP and he has no finals, and oh my gosh, he never deserved the MVP. Uncle Murder calling him JaVale McGee in the playoffs. I understand no one's going to get that, but it's okay. I listen to Uncle Murder. Everything's been criticized about him. And now at 25, he's going to have his first championship, younger than LeBron, younger than Michael, younger than Durant, younger than Steph, coming back from 0-2. You got to give it up to Giannis, man. That is the kind of performance and the kind of display that lets him be in that next who is the best in the league post LeBron James conversation. And with the title, it won't matter anymore if he doesn't have a jump shot. Steph Curry doesn't play defense. We don't care. He's got rings, part of a dynasty. Guys are not perfect. Guys have flaws in their game. Shaq couldn't shoot at all. Shaq was the most dominant player in the league. Now, the part that the Suns need to handle going into Game 6, it's weird. If you would have asked me, and I even jokingly said, I think Bud should be the first coaching candidate to be fired after winning an NBA Finals, because I don't think he's made any adjustments. I don't think he's done anything coaching-wise that is superior or really even competent on some nights. Giannis is just making more shots. Chris Middleton's making more shots. Holiday's playing better. It doesn't feel like Bud really did anything, though. It's just like, all right, Giannis, keep attacking the rim, and Giannis will go from shooting 40% attacking the rim to now Giannis shooting like 70% attacking the rim. I don't know if Bud makes Giannis a 30% better shooter. Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, they're hitting open shots. I don't know if Bud's coaching is making them hit these open shots that they were missing earlier in the playoffs, and now it's like, all right, guys, you're just going to start hitting them today. But besides Bud's lack of coaching, Monty Williams, I think, has been the more disappointing coach so far, because we all have a very high opinion of Monty Williams, as we should. I believe he is a top-tier head coach in the NBA. He's been great for the Suns all year. I'm not going to say this series alone means you throw away everything else that he's done this year, everything else he's done for this franchise the past 2 years. Still highly respected, still very well thought of, and he should be. But he has been bad in this series, not making certain adjustments. He essentially has been the same as Bud, which is, all right, I'm going to just let my guys go out there, and what they do is what they do. Ayton, you just going to play Giannis one-on-one. All right, Chris, I know who you are. You're just going to do what Chris Paul does. Booker, you're going to go do Devin Booker stuff. The only real coaching thing he's done this whole series is putting Devin Booker, benching him for the fourth quarter of the game. And then Devin Booker's responded with 2 40-point games. But Devin Booker's a great scorer. Like, we know he can do that. Yes, did the benching maybe help his mentality, or the site? He's like, hey, I got to be better next game. The fact that Giannis has been able to see the same kind of defense over and over and over and over again, that shouldn't be allowed or happen. And I'm not a coach. I don't claim to be an X's and O's guys. I don't claim to know more than these guys. These guys are in the NBA for a reason. These guys are professional head coaches for a reason. But at some point, when the big 6'11" motherfucker keeps coming down the lane and dunking on you, even fans understood when Shaq was in the paint and Shaq's about to dunk in there, you just start fouling him. Like, you do something different. That doesn't take being a professional head coach to do. You just see him and go, oh shit, the biggest dude on the court keeps getting the ball here and he keeps whooping our ass. Get the biggest dude on the court. If game 6, the Suns' entire mentality should be, we're going to throw body after body at Giannis, and when it comes time for those last couple minutes of each quarter, prior to the 2-minute marks, you start playing hacker Giannis. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be fun to watch. That is one where the fans definitely lose. No one likes to see hack a Shaq games. No one's going to want to see a hack a Ben Simmons game. No one's going to want to watch a hack a Giannis game. But if the Suns want to win this series, having to win the next 2, you got to start playing hack a Giannis. And everybody's got to be okay with getting to 4 or 5 fouls. And you have a bunch of smart defenders on your team. Chris is a smart defender. Crowder, Ayton, you've got smart defenders who are going to have to learn to play with 4 or 5 fouls on them at a time, and you got to start playing hack Giannis, because you can't let him just keep doing this, because he is whooping your ass. He's the biggest dude on the court. He's playing like the biggest dude on the court, and you don't need to be a professional to know, hey, when the biggest motherfucker on the court is whooping my ass, I'm going to do something about it. Otherwise, great game 5.